So yes, welcome to Somatics lesson. So when we are practicing these movements, you know, so it's somatics, it's also influenced by the other bits of teachings that I'm doing. So, you know, Thomas Hanna was a student of Moshe Feldenkrais, and there's a big interplay between those movements. So it's a very body focused lesson. We're going to be focusing on working with ease, not pushing into a place where I feel, you know, that you're going to damage. We want to work as, you know, as softly, as gently as we want, with big awareness to the bones, the joints, the muscles, you know, really pulling your awareness into the body. I'm just starting, like I say, finding the most comfortable place to be it laid down, be it sitting up. I'm just starting just to picture the space that you occupy on the floor. If you're laying down, just think about all the heavy parts of the floor. And if you're sitting, just noticing again where your feet are, where your hips are. And then picturing yourself like a little mirror image. Be heavier on one side than the other. Not like a scientist, just trickle curiosity really, taking that focus to the tailbone, and then through the pelvis, through to the belly button, through the ribs, through the neck, and just notice the head. Picturing the shoulders and the arms, the elbows, the wrists, the hands. Just notice the position of the hands, whether turned inwards, turned outwards, or they're touching each other. So that's the physical body. And then just take some time just to be more aware of your breath in that centre of the body, and all the places you can feel your breath, the belly, the chest, the neck, the back, the ribs. Some people feel the breath in very random places. And we can bring our soft awareness down into the mind. Is the mind active? Is the mind quiet? And just try to let this mind be focused to the movements that we're making. We learn so much by having this awareness of the body. From the place that you're at, we're going to start just to gently undulate the pelvis. So beginning to roll the pelvis forwards towards the floor, feeling the tailbone either leaning into the floor, or you're going to feel that pubic bone coming towards the floor, tummy lengthens, and then tucking the tailbone under, feeling that back begin to round into the floor. Maybe if you're taking a seat, you're feeling the ribs come close to the pelvis is tucked under, and again lengthen and roll the tailbone forwards, feeling the spine lengthen forwards. And arching the back, and again flattening that back, and again feeling how the tailbone tucks under if you're sitting, or you feel that lower back flattening into the floor if you're laying. So we're just arching and flattening at this point, just feeling the spine moving within us. pelvis very much in charge of what happens above the spine. So whatever we're doing at this moment in time, just follow the movement now of the head, bring your awareness to the head. If you're laying on the floor, you can feel that spine pushing through the body, and the head does one thing, and as you tip the pelvis the other way, the spine is being pulled through the body and the chin comes in. And if you're sitting, again, just notice the spine is lifting the chin, and again, as you roll and flatten the back, the chin is going the opposite way as the neck lengthens up behind the skull. Again, just tuning in just to the natural movement of the head. Just let the head be nice and relaxed on top of the spine. And noticing as well, are you doing this in an even manner again? So just picture the mirror image of the body. If you're particularly laying on the floor, just noticing the pelvis. Does one side feel heavier than the other, or does it feel equal in length? And if you're laying on the floor, inviting that little pull of the feet inwards towards the hips as you lay down, as you roll the tailbone forwards, and that gentle push the feet away from the hips to flatten the back. And again, noticing if we are doing that, is that making any difference just to the way we move? But also, do we feel that, again, we're maybe using one side more than the other? So just, can we make an even movement down the centre of the body? And if you're sitting, again, do we feel we're rolling again equally down the centre of the pelvis? So let's just pause in the centre just for a moment and just again allow ourselves to relax into the floor. And again, if we're taking a seat, just noticing how the spine balances on top of the pelvis and checking in on how we are now. Does the spine sit differently? Do we feel the ground beneath us differently? Does the head sit differently? So I want to now just bring our focus to the muscles of the back. And if you just picture what their job is, the muscles of the back have a very big job to do, and they're to have just enough tension in them to keep the spine erect. And I just want you just to visualise themselves all like little pulleys that draw down towards the pelvis. And all I want you to do now is just begin to think about tightening those muscles of the back, and just notice how we do, as we do that the ribs begin to kind of pull forwards, and we get that arch at the back of the body again. So if you're laying on the floor, we're going to feel those ribs lift, we're going to feel that tiny gap up here at the back. And then all we're going to do then is just let them go and just let those muscles relax, and just feel how the back begins to spread and release. And again, if you're on the floor, feeling the ground beneath you, and if you're sitting, again, feeling the back begin to spread. And again, in your mind's eye, beginning to mentally tighten those muscles and feeling those ribs begin to come forward, and that arch begin to appear at the lower back. And feeling that tailbone again tilted away from us. And again, when you're ready, just relax those muscles at the back and just feel them spread. Again, just a few times mentally taking in those muscles, the job that they're doing to keep us lifted and erect. And again, just letting those muscles relax into the floor, or just relax away, and just feeling the back begin to spread. And then we can add in other little things. We can feel those muscles begin to tighten, and we can squeeze the shoulders together beneath us a little bit or behind us. And then again, just relax every single part of the back. And again, tightening those muscles at the back, feeling the pelvis tilt, and again, squeezing the muscles behind us. And again, just relax and let everything go. So again, feeling those muscles tighten along the back and squeezing the muscles behind the shoulders, and again, just relax and let everything go. We'll just do that one more time. Just relax and let everything go. You can just sense and feel. Just take all the time you need to breathe. Just taking now time to think about the muscles, the front of the belly, on the front of the chest. And if we do lots of sitting, these muscles tighten and the ribs come closer to the pelvis. And we're just going to spend some time just feeling that action mentally and sensorily. So this time I want you to pull the navel into the spine. And as you do that, do you feel the ribs creeping close to the pelvis? So if you're laying down, you're going to feel the back flatten. And those ribs are going to inch in towards the pelvis. And again, just as you take an inhale, relax and let those muscles just again release. And again, on your out breath, pull the navel in towards the spine. Again, you might even feel, if you're sitting, you'll feel that lower back round, the tailbone become heavier. And if you're on the floor, again, you'll feel the tailbone will lift and the lower back will flatten. Again, just relax and let everything go on the inhale. On the exhale again, feel those muscles tighten. And then again, inhale and let everything go. Just pause and feel and just sense how the body responds to that, and just check in on your posture, on how you feel the ground beneath the body again. Do you feel anything unpicking and changing? So now when you're ready, just again roll the tailbone away from you and bring the pubic bone forwards, and again bring the lower back round the lower back. And again, just coming back to that very first movement, that arch and flatten. And does it feel a little bit different? Have we improved the quality of that movement? Well, let everything go for a second, extending the legs out in front of you if that feels good, or maybe even just changing position, just have a little bit of a posture break, maybe leaning into your hands, and just take, again, your awareness into your breath. For all the time you need to breathe. So from this place we're in, I just want to think about now rocking the pelvis from side to side. So on the floor, we can have our feet, bring the feet in line with the hips. If you wish to do it seated, you can have your feet in front of you and have your hands behind you. So again, laying down with feet on the floor, knees bent or propped up on your hands. And we're going to bring our focus to our feet. So I just want you to begin to just focus on your right footprint and picture the big toe, the middle, the next, and the little toe. Oh, I've just done 4 toes, we've got more toes than that, haven't we? And then push it down and forwards and allow your pelvis to roll to the left. Relax that right foot and just come to centre. And just do it a few times, pushing that right foot into the floor, bring your right hip lift, roll into the left, and again coming back down. So if you're doing this on the floor, again, you're going to just feel yourself beginning to roll to the left, and just keep that the right shoulder on the floor. And so again, it's all coming from that right big toe. Notice that you don't want the knee to go to the side. Keep the knee pointing forward, particularly from the floor. It's a little bit more tricky to have that awareness of the feet and the knees. So try to keep those knees pointing upwards. And getting actually a bit of a side bend down that left side. Just feel the length of your ribs and your belly on the left side. And then when you're ready, just relax into centre and just feel the weight of that right hip in the floor. And then we're going to move to the left foot. So again, picturing the big toe, the little toe, the middle toe. Again, pushing the left foot away, feeling how your pelvis rolls to the right. And again, sinking back down. And just take your time just to think about placing that foot deeper and deeper into the floor. So again, on your back, just feeling how the pelvis turns, and there's actually a little bit of a twist, isn't there? The shoulder is staying on the floor, the heart is turning gently, but the shoulders are staying on the floor, and pushing the left foot into the floor and feeling the pelvis tilt. Just feel again, we're getting that little bit of a side bend. The right side is lengthening, and that the left side is shortening. And then when you're ready, you're starting just to press both feet at different times into the floor and let the pelvis roll. Just feeling, through the joints, the connection from the feet deep into the pelvic bone. Okay, so from this place, extend both legs out in front of you and just take a rest. And again, maybe posture break. You're just going to take a seat. Might even be nice to widen the legs and just to drape yourself forward if you are seated. But again, if you're laying on the floor, again, just checking on the pelvis, the ribs, the hips, checking on how the body feeling. So let's roll ourselves to one side and come to seated. I've got a really lovely little thing for the pelvis, actually. I've got to notice that everything that we end up doing in these lessons ends up being about your pelvis, and I think that's not a bad thing. It does hold tension in it randomly. So we've got our hands behind us and our feet together in front of us. And it's similar to what we've just been doing, actually, but we're going to get some really nice little rolls of the pelvis next. So have your hands on the floor, feet together. And again, lean your pelvis forwards towards the floor and allow your spine to begin to lift, and allow your tailbone to tuck under and your pelvis rolls. Flatten, you can feel your lower back rounding again, leaning the tailbone forward, spine begins to lift, and again, rolling back through and letting the tailbone sink. And feeling how it feels like you're creeping your tailbone close to your heels, and it's just because you're rolling forwards, your pubic bone's coming forwards, and to create some really lovely perpendiculations on those inner thighs, and some nice little movements in the knees. You feel the knees are kind of bending a little bit and moving away. And we're also kind of doing some really lovely little movements in the shoulders. So feel the shoulders, feel the hands resting gently into the floor. Give a little rest there. And then just take a little seat and let go for a moment. And we're just going to add in one more little thing. So just again, let go of everything there for a second. So placing your hands on the floor again behind you. So again, you can always use knuckles, you can always rest into the fingers. And so we went forward this time. And I want you now, just to, as you're sitting like this, just notice that your feet tend to be open like a little book, don't they? And I want you to now press your big toes together and keep them pressed so that you've got, the palms are properly touching, the soles of your feet are properly touching. And what we're going to now begin to do is let our belly decide what's happening with the pelvis. So I want you to think about taking your belly over and towards the left knee. So lead with the belly and let your right hip come off the floor. So keep the feet touching and then relax back to center, and just see if you can do it again. So lead with the belly, lead with the heart. Just imagine you just want to go to your left knee with your belly. Bring it towards the bring it towards the thigh, let the pelvis lift, and again roll back. Again, belly towards the left. And again, rolling back. Belly towards the left. And again, rolling back. Belly towards the left. Remember, just do it in your own time, taking rests if you need to. And then you can have a little rest, and we could maybe take it the other way, so think about your belly moving to the right. So lean your belly, your right side of your belly to the right, and let your left pelvis lift. And again, leaning your ribs and your belly to the right, and again, let your left pelvis lift. And then we can come to center and lean our left belly to the left, and then your right belly to the right. And your left belly to the left, and your left ribs to the right. I know I'm saying left and right, moving across that back of the pelvis. And then coming back to centre, and just going back to that first movement that we had, and again just tucking the tailbone under the body and leaning the tailbone forward, and again tucking the tailbone under the body. So perhaps I can see you change position, so you can have your feet together, your knees wide if that is comfortable, and again just have a little roll through the pelvis if that suits you. Then when you're ready, just let go of that action, and again maybe lay down, again maybe take a little posture break. Again, just rest your awareness back into the breath. This is leading us towards the flower pose that I'd like to do. So again, we can do flower seated, we can do flower reclining. So we're going to start with our arms for our flower. So bringing your arms just away from the body, with the palms turned up. Obviously, if you're laying on the floor, you're going to feel the backs of the hands on the floor, the elbows are going to be on the floor, the backs of your foot will be on the floor. If you have your arms down by your side, just let the shoulders fall away from the ears, and just maybe let them hang down by your side and then sweep them out, and just try to hold them out without too much tension. So let's start with the thumbs, and just picture the thumbs, and I want you to roll them backwards away from the body. So if you're going to be doing this on the floor, you're going to be pressing the thumbs back, and you're trying to bring the palms towards the floor. So if you're sitting, again, you're rolling those thumbs away, try to turn the thumbs towards the floor. Feel the palms turn back, and then just notice what's happened at the chest. Do we feel that our chest is doing something? Do we feel that it's rising and opening? And then just relax and let everything come back to center. And again, we're just turning those thumbs towards the floor, palms, trying to turn them backwards away from us. And again, just let everything go just a few times. So just feeling the shoulders are drawing down the back and opening the chest. And again, each time we let go, that action is just resetting those muscles, maybe just to a new length. Again, we're pandiculating here. We're tightening muscles to let go of them, and it helps just again release the tension. It's one of the beautiful things about practicing somatics, that these little pandiculations, we don't stretch, we tighten and let go. We feel the tension in those muscles, and then we have that awareness of having that ability to let go of the muscles. So let go of that action. Just maybe bring your hands down by your side, and just maybe have the hands just resting to the floor, and just checking on your shoulders and all the sensations you feel in the shoulders. So when you're ready, taking your hands again away from the body, and we're going to go the other way this time. So have those hands just gently away from the body, backs of the hands, palms facing upwards or forwards. And we're going to go the other way this time. So Rolling the palms forwards, maybe towards the floor, and keep going. See how far you can turn those palms the other way. And as you do that, notice the shoulders. Follow that movement up to the shoulders. The shoulders are rolled forwards, and then just relax them back to where you started. So again, you're going to turn the palms forwards and down and keep rolling them. So it's like you're trying to bring the thumbs again back to face forwards, and again, relax them out back to where they started. And again, follow the movement in the shoulders. So you maybe feel tightness at the back of the shoulders. You're going to feel energy and tension at the front of the shoulders. And you're going to feel the bones doing something. The muscles of the shoulders are rolling those bones forward. But you might also notice that the rib cage is rounding slightly. That you're going to feel the backs of the ribs if you're on the floor deepening their contact into the floor. You might even feel if you're laying on the floor that the chin tilts back. It's more difficult to sense that if you're sitting. And your spine is rounding to accommodate that motion. Either sitting or laying, you're going to feel that back rounding. If you're on the floor, just think about rolling the hand across the floor rather than just flipping the palm. So, imagine you're just trying to do an imprint of the hand, knuckles back to knuckles. And then let go of that action and just again feel the shoulders surrender. Just let again go of all the sensations through the arms and checking on the ribs, checking on the spine. And we'll do that as a full movement. So again, bringing those hands out comfortably by your side with the palms facing upwards. And go whichever way you want to start. So you might be going to try to roll the thumbs backwards towards the floor with the palms with it. And feel that chest pressing forwards. And again, rolling the palms forwards and feel the back going around them. Rolling those hands each way. So if you're on the floor, again, notice what the head is doing. The head is nodding and the head is tilting back. And if you're sitting, just notice again, it might be as you roll the heart forwards, the chin's going to lift, and as you roll that head, the heart back, the chin's going to tuck in. And follow the movement all the way down to the pelvis making some beautiful little actions. It's not just about the shoulders, this. Feel how there's just a movement that flows everywhere, and just allow it to happen. Allow it to happen at the pelvis. Feel the pelvis tilting. But these hands are incredibly intelligent. These hands are getting your spine to do some amazing wiggles. And if you notice that you're expending too much energy on it, just maybe slow it down and take your time just to explore it as a delightful kind of inward yawn. And when you're ready, just let go. Just feel the ground beneath the body. And as you're taking your seat again, just maybe rearrange the arms and just take that moment just to sense the chest, to sense the shoulders, to sense the breath more than anything. Just taking all the time you need to breathe. Notice your breath. So you can think about the benefits of our somatic practices, as a muscular thing and pain management and things like that. But it really does affect your breathing. Your rib cage is, it's there, it's surrounded by muscles, and that movement in particular is just really good for creating more space for the ribs to do their job. Just take all the time you need to breathe and to sense and to feel the breath. The next movement is a twist, and it can be done seated on a sofa. It can be done laying on the floor, and it's called the dish rag. Dish rag. It's called propeller by some people, but I prefer dish rag because that's the sensation you get really for me with the arms. So yeah, let's firstly make ourselves comfortable, and again arms are going to be out around about shoulder height or slightly less, and we're going to turn one palm up and one palm down. So have one palm facing away from you, one palm facing the ceiling. And again, all we're going to do is just practice the shoulders as we just did a second ago. So turn the palm that's facing down, turn it up as you turn the other one away, and just let the chest begin to turn a little bit from side to side, and feeling what's happening through the shoulders. You can bring the head into this. I just want you to slow the movement down now and turn your gaze towards the palm that is turned up. And then slowly turn the palm the other way and take your gaze to the opposite hand. And slowly turn the palm the other way, and again looking to the hand where the palm is turned up. And if you're on the floor, I just want you to maybe think again about rolling the palm, and actually as you sit in, think about maybe rolling the palm up towards the ceiling and rolling one palm down towards the floor. And take time to explore what's happening through the shoulders. And then when you're ready, just again relax the hands down by your side, and again check in on your shoulders and check in on your breathing and checking on the rhythm of your breath. So developing this into a twist, we're going to need to be, if we're on the chair, kind of just towards the edge of it, so we can let the knees begin to move from side to side. So we're going to have our, if you're sitting on the chair, you've got your feet slightly wider than the hips, just so we've got that space for the knees to roll towards each other. But if you're laying on the floor again, as we never have the feet together, so then we've got those feet hip distance apart. And then again, bringing your hands out where you had before, and have one palm turned up and one palm turned down. And so let's turn the right palm up and have the left palm down. And start to bring your knees across to the left. And as you do that, slowly turn your gaze towards your right shoulder, your right hand. And then when you're ready, start to bring the knees back to center, and then turn the right palm down, turn the left palm up. And then as you bring the knees across to the right, turn your head to look towards your left hand. And then bringing those knees back to center, turning the right palm up and the left palm down. As you look towards the right, bring your knees to the left. And again, just slowly bringing those knees to center, turning the left palm up, the right palm down, look to the left as the knees float to the right. So you're always going to be looking to the upturned palm. That sense that you're kind of wringing yourself out from the center of the body. But one little thing we could maybe do if you're sitting there, oh, you're fancy, going the other way, a bit more energetic, sitting down this way. And then when you're ready, just again, relax yourself back to center. And again, just sense and feel the body and as it rests into the floor. Again, have a really, really good check-in on the self. Just spend some moments again, just with yourself closing your eyes and tuning in. Again, how do we sense the spine sitting in the centre of the body? And how do we sense the shoulders sitting on the ribs? Flowing outwards from the ribs. How do we sense the ribs themselves? How do we sense the lower back? How do we sense the pelvis? So for our next movement, again, it can be done sitting, it can be done reclining. We're going to have wide knees this time. So if you're laying on the floor, I'd like you to bring your feet up towards you. So you've got the knees bent, but have nice wide knees. In fact, let's do one leg at a time. So place your left leg down, have your right leg up. And you're going to have your hand resting on your right knee. And if you're sitting, again, we're just going to be focusing. We're going to just forget about the left leg for a second. Maybe have it tucked. In fact, have it tucked underneath if that is comfortable. We all look a bit weird, we're all there like, wow, it's length in the air now. So if you're sitting, you've got your left leg tucked, you've got a right hand on the right knee. If you're laying on the floor, we're doing it again with one leg bent. And all we're going to do is find a nice pathway down to that right foot. So I don't want you to stretch and go get there. Bring the knee towards you a little bit and slide the hand towards the foot. So it's a double action. You're bringing the knee towards you and the hand towards the foot. So if you're sitting, we're going to go in the other way. I want you to maybe slide your hand down towards the foot and bring it. You might even be going to end up adapting this yourself and maybe coming to sitting and doing it. So sliding your hand down towards your foot. What we're doing is just doing it with the gentlest of effort. And again, if you're doing this on the floor, again, gentlest of effort. Just find some nice ways to let that knee come out and then let's just maybe play it again a few more times. You can always rest if you want to. You can maybe hold the knee in if you need to, or maybe just let go of the action, take a seat. And then maybe explore it again and again bring the foot to the knee to the foot. Again, if you're sitting, taking that time again just to lean into the floor. So feeling that pelvis, if particularly in the floor, you feel your pelvis rolling underneath you. So whenever you're ready, just keep hold of the foot. So keep that foot hugged in. I'm saying hugged in, that sounds like a very dramatic word, but have the foot in and hold onto the foot. And I'm not asking you to have the leg completely straight when I ask you to do this, but all I want you to do is start. In fact, if you can maybe hold onto your big toe or maybe onto your inner ankle or something like that, I want you just to see if you can get hold of the foot in a way that is comfortable to you. And like I said, this is not about making your leg completely straight, making a yoga pose. Just try to push the foot away from you and let the arm straighten. And then bend the knee again and taking the foot away and let the arm straighten. And again, it might be that it's just a little movement before you feel that you kind of don't want to go any further. And so if you're sitting, again, you kind of feel yourself going forwards with it. You're sliding that foot in. So again, it might be that you might even get along better doing this as a seated posture, but the choice is yours. And then whenever you're ready, just see if we can keep that leg held out and just allow the back of the body just to soften into the space around it and breathing into the belly. Belly very well done, everybody. And then bend the knee and just return the foot into the floor. And if you want to, you can always straighten out the legs and just check on how they feel, particularly the hamstrings and that right thigh. And again, if you're sitting, again, just checking in on how the legs rest into the floor. And then we're going to explore moving to the opposite side. So again, if you're sitting, you're going to have the right knee tucked underneath you and have the left leg bent. And again, have some space on the knees wide, and you're going to place the hand on the knee. And if you're laying down, again, we've got that right knee bent, and have your left knee turned out and your hand resting on maybe on the knee or the ankle. Maybe even hold it for a second. And then we're going to find that nice way to explore the hand coming to the foot and the foot coming to the hand. So bring the knee a little bit closer, hand touches the foot, and then slide the hand away to the knee. So your foot is going to be pushing gently away, the knee's going to be coming in. So you've got movement at the knee, you've got movement at the hand, both trying to find that connection. Slow the movement down. And you're going to feel your pelvis on the floor doing some little things. Your pelvis is rolling backwards into the floor, and the tailbone is rolling forwards. The back is doing some lovely things on the floor. Just feel that there's an organic movement in the spine. The back is rounding, the back is arching. And as you're sitting, again, we've got that same sensation. Pelvis is rolling, the spine is rolling. You feel it, I think, a bit more if you're sitting. And then when you're ready, again, find that really nice, comfortable way to make connection with the foot. So again, it might be you're going to hold the inside edge of the foot. It might be you're going to hold onto a big toe. And I think it's just working in your own range. I'm not asking you to, like I say, to go into anything like a crazy circus movement. Starting to push the foot away, allow yourself to follow the movement. So if you're on the floor, the arm will straighten. You're going to feel your back maybe rounding into the floor. If you're sitting, you're going to feel yourself tipping forwards, and allow that to happen. Let your heel guide you into this movement. Lovely. So again, you might even notice that in practicing this, that you're surprising yourself. You've got a little bit more movement than we thought. When you're ready, just maybe think about leaving yourself. It might be you're going to hold the leg in and not do anything else. That might be where you want to be. It might be you are going to have that leg extended and just rest for a moment with the leg open or the leg tucked in, whichever feels good. It might be you're just going to keep moving because that in itself is a nice thing to do. And then when you're ready, bring again the legs out in front of you and have a good rest. And this is where we're going to start to stop doing things. So we're going to make ourselves comfortable. So again, extending legs out if that is what you want to do, or into seated. Get your awareness just softly into your breath. And just feel how comfortable it is to breathe. And I just want to work very gently with the breath today. So again, we're not going to hold any breath, we're not going to push our breath, but I do want to do a few little breath practices. Because like the lessons this week in my other yoga lessons have been all about bliss, and I find that working with breath is just the best way of finding inner bliss. So, taking your awareness down to your belly button. And all I want you to do is let your belly relax out in front of you as you breathe. But then actively but gently draw the navel in as you breathe out. Just imagine it squishing every part of the breath out of the body. And then when you want to breathe again, just relax the belly and let the breath come to you. And when you want to breathe out, again, that belly button is drawing back. pushing the breath out. And again, just do it in your own rhythm. Relax the belly for a moment and take some normal breaths, but just notice how your breath is moving within you. And just noticing sensations in the body connected to the breath. So very lightly, we're just going to squeeze the pelvic floor, and if it's comfortable to do so, hold the navel in, but again, that is not really an ask. If all we're trying to do is just guide our awareness up the chest. So take a breath more towards the chest, and again, just let the breath roll out. Breathing in towards the chest. So again, if you don't feel comfortable holding the navel in, just maybe let the breath be a bit more relaxed, but just take that breath more towards the chest. And again, just go in your own rhythm. And then let go of the breath. Just let your breath again come to a natural rhythm. Just notice where again you feel that you can breathe. Do you feel we've got a bit more again space in those lungs to take a breath? Again, what experience are we having through sensations in the body? So just taking now this into just a full breath, let the belly swell, let the chest swell. And just slowly do it in your own time. Don't go my rhythm. You don't have to breathe as deep as me. I often breathe loudly so you can hear that it's happening. Allow pauses to be there if that is comfortable. Taking your own time to breathe. And then just let the breath just go a little more gentle. And just taking as long as you need to breathe in. As long as you need to breathe out. Notice as you breathe in, there's little pauses between the breaths. As you breathe in, there's a turnaround point. And as you breathe out, at the end, the turnaround point. And just rest your awareness in those points. Concentrating more on those little spaces between the breaths. And starting to let go of the concentration and just let your awareness just move just to sensations in the body. And tingling. And sensations you can feel. The gentlest of awareness, again take your focus to the weight of the head as it yields into the floor. Gentle awareness into the heavy parts of the body, leading into the floor. Again, unscientifically, gentle curiosity. Just noticing the gaps and the curves of the body. Gentle curiosity just to the space behind the lower back. Gentle curiosity. Just to the mind, how active is the mind? Is it quiet? Is it busy? What quality would you give the mind? And let's take some time just to bring some gentle movements to the body. Maybe we could think about reaching our hands gently overhead. And roll the tailbone again gently forwards. And taking your hands around and maybe bringing the knees in just very carefully towards the belly and giving yourself again a really nice look. Always a nourishing practice, always nice just to acknowledge that this is a very nice act of self-care. Consciously thank the body for what it's just been doing, for everything it does for us. And we're going to find a nice way to bring ourselves to seated. You can always lay on the floor and not bother. I don't mind. And I will say namaste and I'll stop recording now. So there you go. Yay.